We put 22 of these miners in an 8x12 shed with geothermal cooling running underground. And I had three 24,000 BTU air conditioners, enough to cool 16,000 square feet. We're just to keep the temperature ambiently cool. And the lowest I could keep it, whether it was snowing outside or 110 degrees, 95 degrees.
Oh my gosh.
This is not financial advice.
This is not financial advice. This is not financial advice. We're just two bros in here chilling, talking about Bitcoin. Hey, what's going on? It's Joe Teel, and this is another episode of the Joe Teel podcast. And like always, I got another great guest, Drew Holder. What's going on, man?
Man, just chilling.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
I'm excited about today because your boy's a certified dummy, right? I've listened to all kind of stuff, podcasts and all kinds of things, and I just can't understand Bitcoin. I don't get it. I don't understand the crypto stuff at all. And I said, okay, you have a show. You got a platform. Let's figure this shit out. Let's go ask somebody that really knows what they're doing.
Well, you said you initially said you wanted somebody to explain it to you like a fifth grader.
I need that. So,
Joey, today we're going to learn about Bitcoin. No, I'm not going to do you like that.
Don't do me like Joey.
So let's start from the beginning. Unless you have any specific questions first.
Go ahead.
All right. So 2008 crash, the housing market crash. Just shortly after that, the Bitcoin white paper was released, 9-page document by the pseudonym Satoshi Nakamoto. You can kind of tell by some of the language that they used when they use words like color. They use like OU in some instances and not in others. You can tell that there was multiple nationalities that wrote this. So the pseudonym is what we'll call Satoshi Nakamoto. It's a group of people that...
Okay, so that's like a company.
That invented Bitcoin.
Okay.
So in 2009, there wasn't a whole lot of people mining Bitcoin. And Satoshi himself, their group, they mined 1 million of the 21 million Bitcoin that will ever exist.
So there's no more?
No,
there's a limit now on it, or is there?
There'll never be more than 21 million.
Okay.
But I'll tell you how many exist in the network right now.
Okay.
So in 2009, every 10 minutes, there was 50 Bitcoin released into the network that the miners fight over. And so that 50 Bitcoin is released every 10 minutes, the more, back then you used traditional laptops. And they would fight over the cryptography, and it makes it either easy if there's not a lot of miners, or difficult.
What do you mean fight?
Solve the cryptographic code to be awarded that Bitcoin.
Okay, so you have to solve something to get the Bitcoin.
That's right.
Okay, cool. And that's what mining, because I've heard people say, I'm mining Bitcoin. I'm like, what the fuck is that?
That's exactly what mining is.
Okay, so you're solving like, what are you solving?
It's an encrypted block, and whoever can guess that block first, because your computer's running thousands of calculations trying to guess that one.
Yeah.
And people go into pools way more now than they used to. So there's hundreds of people that would make a pool. They all use their mining power to try to guess that next block. And then that reward would be split evenly, divided by how much hash power you put into it. Because if your computer is putting out, way more exahashes than my little PC or something, I'm going to get just a little bit, you're going to get a shitload. You know what I'm saying?
So the more you do, the more you get.
Right.
Bet.
So the difficulty lowers and rises depending on how many miners are trying to crack that cryptographic code.
This may be too far of a question to start with, but why do you think they set it up that way?
So that it would have a 10-minute average per block. And there's 10,000 blocks until the next halving. So 2009 to, I guess, 2012, because it kind of started in 2008. So 2009 till 2012, 10,000 blocks, takes approximately 4 years, right at about a week or two under 4 years. So anyway, it went from 50 Bitcoin released every 10 minutes, and then there's a halving. then it went to 12.5, and then it went to 6.25, and now we're at 3.125.
What's a halving?
So that's what increases the value, the supply shock, and makes it go absolutely ballistic every 4 years. So that's
something that's been consistent throughout Bitcoin.
Absolutely, it's like clockwork. You can almost set a watch to when the next blow off top will be and the next bottom of the next bear market.
Wow.
And I'll explain to you how to time some of that.
I forgot the disclaimer. Let me reference.
This is not financial advice.
This is not financial advice. This is not financial advice. We're just two bros in here chilling talking about Bitcoin. My bad.
But if you pay a little bit of attention and don't take me too seriously, like I said, not financial advice. I may be a few weeks, months, hours, minutes off. Who knows? I might be right dead on. I've had the prediction of a specific date this year that I will reveal why I think will be the top of this run.
Yeah, and don't bet your mortgage on it because you watched the podcast. But anyways.
I did.
Wow, you bet. Oh, yeah?
This will be the second time I've mortgaged my home to invest, and I cash out just at the right time or close to it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, my bad. Take you off your deal. Back to 2012.
Not financial advice again.
Yeah, not financial advice. Every 4 years, you can almost predict it's going to go crazy.
Yeah, every 4 years, there's going to be a halving. And then typically 18 months after that is that all-time high. And then about 12 months after that is the bottom of the bear cycle.
A big old drop.
A big drop.
Damn.
Which is sometimes 80%, 60 to 80%.
Damn, yeah.
So you're like, oh, well, Bitcoin went from, you get 3 for a penny, and it went all the way up to $475 or something like that the first time around. And then it crashed all the way down to like $200, like who gives a shit? And then the next one, and I may be a little bit off on these, but I started in 2017. So the market low for the halving in 2016, Bitcoin was around, I think, 8 something, 9 something. And so I bought my first Bitcoin around 1,700. And that run went from
$1,700?
Yeah.
For one Bitcoin?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I felt like I got in late. And everybody feels like they got in late.
Yeah. I mean, people became millionaires off the jump, right? Some people?
They used to have Bitcoin faucets where it would just give you Bitcoin because it was completely worthless. I mean,
okay, so it was worthless at a time. Then all of a sudden it was like, oh, this shit is worth a lot.
Right. And that's why there's probably a third. Sometimes some people estimate a third of the Bitcoin supply, the 21 million that ever exists, are on hard drives. People mind it wasn't worth migrating to their new drive, and it just got thrown into a landfill. There's plenty of people.
So it's gone?
There's plenty of people trying to get permits to dig through landfills they know their laptop is in to recover that hard drive.
Oh, you mean a real landfill? No, I thought you were like metaphorically, like they threw it away. You're saying they in a landfill.
They know where their laptop is in that landfill. They're trying to get permitting to go dig it up, and they won't let them have it.
Because you'd be a millionaire, billionaire, or whatever.
Billion. It's an insane amount. I mean, but like, you had a bunch of coupons on your freaking computer, a bunch of digital Pokemons or whatever, fake Beanie Babies or whatever the hell. You threw a bunch of Beanie Babies away in the landfill. You're like, hey, they're worth millions now. Can I go dig them up? They're like, no, it's a safety hazard, blah, 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 toxic waste.
Damn.
But anyway, so
that's crazy.
So now we're at the halving that's happened around 420 of last year. No coincidence for you potheads out there. So now we are in the 2020 halving. So every 10 minutes, 3.125 Bitcoin is released into the network every 10 minutes for these mining facilities to fight over. 2, if not 3 of the largest mining facilities in the world now are in Texas.
Are these like companies now? Like how can you
completely commercialized?
Right, that's what I was assuming. Like you're not a dude in a laptop anymore mining Bitcoin, or is that still a thing?
No,
but it's mainly These
are specialized computers with 64 to 128 processors in them. They're called ASICs chips, application-specific integrated CPU or whatever. I don't remember the rest.
When do you think the last time I don't want to take you off your deal, but when do you think the last time it was like actually you were able to just sit in your like basement and mine Bitcoin? Has it been going for a while or is this a new thing?
So in 2018, yeah, I think it was around 2018. Me and a bunch of friends of mine got an 8x12 shed and 22 Bitcoin miners. They were the latest and greatest technology.
And that's just like a computer?
Yeah, it's
huge.
It's basically like a space heater on steroids.
Wow.
They put out so much heat.
Yeah.
But anyway, we put 22 of these miners in an 8x12 shed with geothermal cooling running underground.
Because it gets hot, huh?
Filter box. And I had 24,000 BTU air conditioners, enough to cool 16,000 square feet.
Oh my gosh.
And so it would suck the air in through the filter boxes. It would go underground, geothermal cool it. It would come up through the floor, straight into the back of the miners, and then out the front of the miners, directly into the attic, and then louver fans pulling the hot air out. And the 24,000 BTU AC units were just to keep the temperature ambiently cool. And the lowest I could keep it, whether it was snowing outside or 110 degrees, 95 degrees.
Oh my gosh.
My electric bill was $3,000 a month.
The computers, right?
Yeah. My electric bill was $3,000 a month.
Oh my gosh.
So it was teetering right around,
crazy,
15K was the price.
Yeah.
And we were supposed to get them before the halving. We would have killed it. But hindsight's 2020. We killed it anyway.
Yeah.
Those that didn't sell their Bitcoin, but we ended up selling the equipment, getting some money back, this, that, and the other. But the ones of us that held on to it, that one guy even sold one of his Bitcoins to his wife for $15K, and now she's laughing her way to the shoe store or whatever she's into.
Yeah.
I don't really know.
Oh yeah, he sold it for $15K. And it's worth way more than that, I'm assuming. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the lowest we hit today was 96 something. The highest we hit today was 100,200.
What makes it different? What makes it different than a regular stock?
So stocks are based off U.S. dollars. Right. People value Bitcoin in U.S. dollars because what else are you going to value it in to
judge what it's doing?
I value everything in Bitcoin. That's how deep I am into this. But one of the most common, I'm sorry, what was your question again?
Oh, shit.
What keeps it separate from a stock?
Yeah, what's different from the stock? My bad. You see how fast I forgot.
So stocks can be split. They can be bought back. They can be, they're usually ran by board of directors. If you buy a bunch of stock in a company, you have decision-making
power
to do something. So no government, no group of people, nobody owns Bitcoin. It is for the people, and it was supposed to be adopted by way more individuals before we got to this point. It was for the public to fight inflation and to actually make some money and not just get killed by holding dollars. Because like since 1971, Nixon took us off the gold standard. We've lost 99% of the value of the dollar.
Really?
And we're going to lose another 99% and another 99%. You can never lose 100% of the value of a dollar as long as it exists.
So like that statement right there, for a simpleton ass dude like me, 99% over and over and over, like the math, I don't know. I don't understand that. But 99% and then another 99%.
And another 99%. Like you could, unless you lose 100%, then it disappears.
And then you get a new...
lose 99% over and over and over and over.
Oh, yeah, and it just keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You lose 99% of a dollar, you got
This is a fifth grade class.
You use 99% of that penny, now you got 0.000001 cents or whatever.
You just start adding zeros, huh?
Yeah, you add zeros in front of it.
Which, how useless is a penny right now? Golly.
I haven't picked up one that haven't thrown away in years.
Dude, what are you going to do with a penny?
Never mind, I keep all of them. Yeah.
Is it illegal to throw a penny away?
I think it's illegal to throw away money, yeah.
That's crazy.
I mean, into the trash. People throw away money all day.
Yeah,
and it ain't breaking the law.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, using change right now is almost like, why?
Yeah. Man, it always takes me back to that South Park episode where they're zombies and they're like, change. Yeah. But anyways,
I love South Park. Yeah.
Anyways, the with the Bitcoin reward being cut in half every year, it sounds like that, only being 21 million to ever exist, and there already being over 19.5 million mined, you'd think we're getting pretty close to the end of Bitcoin mining, right?
Right.
Well, no. It's going to take till the year 2140 to mine all the Bitcoin. So
they slow it down or something?
Well, it keeps halving. So it's
okay.
It's the opposite effect of, would you rather have a penny double every day for 30 days, or would you have $1 million?
A penny double every 30 days, or $1 million,
or $1 million.
Or it seems like you would want $1 million, but is a penny doubling?
You miss out on about $3 million.
Oh my gosh, a penny doubling every single day.
Something like that.
For how long?
30 days.
30 days
would be. I think it's like 3 or 4 million.
Shit.
Yeah, that's why you can't chase your bets on roulette. It's really expensive. But losing 30 times in a row would be kind of hard. But crazier things have happened.
Yeah, I might.
Right.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah.
So with the halving schedule, I mean, in the year 2140, it's going to be just bits like 0.0000001 Bitcoin released every 10 minutes. And these miners are going to be fighting over it because it's going to be worth God knows how much. By the year 2045, which is only 20 years from now, $45 million Bitcoin should not be a stretch from the imagination.
A $45 million Bitcoin?
Yeah.
One Bitcoin being worth $45 million.
Yep. There is no top to Bitcoin because the dollar has no bottom. If you're valuing it in dollars, there's no telling how low the dollar go. I mean, people make purses out of money in Venezuela.
Yeah.
They're going to be making shit out of dollars here before too long. We're not that far from it. I'd say about probably 13, 14 years at the most. We were a lot closer without some things happening this past November. But speaking of November, what a crazy day after Trump got elected.
Did Bitcoin go crazy?
20% overnight, hasn't looked back. It never dropped back to those numbers. I think it was around 68 and went up to like 85.
Yeah.
Starting at 3 a.m. and it was there by like 8 a.m.
Wow.
So,
is it a 24-hour thing, or is it like stocks where it cuts off at night?
No, it's 24/7.
Yeah. Stock cut off at night, right? There's a specific time limit for them. Okay. But Bitcoin isn't like that.
Bitcoin is a 24/7, 365 market.
Was Bitcoin the first coin, like the first cryptocurrency?
Yes.
Okay. That's the one that started it.
And it was the first one for a while, and then Ethereum came around.
Yeah. How does Ethereum match? I hear people throw Ethereum around all the time. How does that match up against Bitcoin? Is it anywhere near the same size as it?
Man, last I checked, so the Bitcoin dominance chart is something that I keep up with. It shows how much is the Bitcoin market cap, which is how many Bitcoin are out there times the price equals $1.9 billion, trillion. And then
big numbers.
Yeah. And then Ethereum, I think, is around the 327 billion last I checked.
What was the number again for Bitcoin?
1.9 trillion.
1.9 trillion. And the other one was
327 billion.
Billion. Okay.
Yeah.
Still huge gap.
So there's a Bitcoin dominance chart. And what that is how much is Bitcoin worth versus Ethereum, XRP, Tether, Trump Coin, all these other bullshit projects, all other cryptos, and there's thousands of them.
Haktua coin.
Haktua coin, man, I'm telling you.
She crashed out.
It just doesn't stop. Yeah. Anyway, they make a meme coin out of anything, and there's money to be made in it. I'm not fucking touching them.
Do they call it a meme coin? What they call it a meme coin from like the word meme, like we know from the internet?
So Dogecoin.
I made like $300 off Dogecoin and then got out of it.
It was made after a joke to be like, this is how easy it is to make a cryptocurrency. It was one of the first ones after Bitcoin. Hell, it might have been around before Ethereum.
I paid $300 and took it out. I don't know if I did right or wrong. Yep. I never learned to stay long enough to know.
Do not buy any Dogecoin, although
this is not financial advice, but
it is the only asset on planet Earth that has performed better than Bitcoin over the last 10 years.
Wow.
The only one.
So why do you think?
I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole.
Or you think it just might crash one day and be done for?
It's an abandoned project. It has been for years. There's no.
So when they give up on something, what happens to that? What happens to that coin? What happens to all that money?
Nothing happens to all the money. I mean, it's just like anything else. Value is the number of which one party is willing to purchase that asset from you.
Right. Okay.
And people talk about there's no intrinsic value in Bitcoin. Like, what is intrinsic value? There's no such thing.
Yeah.
People are like, I can hold gold in my hand. Be like, that's not intrinsic value.
Yeah. It's basically whatever somebody's willing to pay for it, right?
Pay you for that gold, which I'm not. I'd rather put it in Bitcoin.
You'd rather put money in Bitcoin than gold?
I sold all my gold and silver into Bitcoin when it was at 7,900. It's the best thing I ever did.
Wow.
Yeah. I think I got like a whole Bitcoin out of that shit too.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was $6,400 when I did that.
So one Bitcoin.
Yeah.
But you're saying potentially it could be 45 million for one Bitcoin.
Yeah. They're projecting 13 million per Bitcoin within two halvings. That would be 8 years and 45 million by the year 2145 or 2045.
Is it just a coincidence? Are they following the election years? Is that it? Or is that just a coincidence?
It's just a coincidence.
Okay.
But so since it's like, what is it? Okay. 48 months would be 4 years. So it's like 47.1 year. So eventually it will work its way out of an election year. But yeah, it kind of sucks, but it's kind of cool that
they need a leap day.
One. Yeah, they do.
They need a leap day. They
need something because, but a party gets elected that's anti-Bitcoin in the middle of what's about to be a bull run.
It could bull
run ain't going to be great, but they're always going to be good.
Yeah.
There has never been one.
But the election is going to affect it, right?
Yeah. But no matter what, if you're buying Bitcoin at the all-time high, or you're buying Bitcoin dollar cost averaging in, which is suggested, that just means, you put a little bit in every week or every month or whatever. That's dollar cost averaging. You can dollar cost average in and out. But once you learn kind of how the 4-year market works, it's good to get out at these certain intervals. I'll go over some of those. And none of that will be financial advice either.
Yeah, dude, this is not financial. We just say that every 5 minutes.
Yeah, right. You're going to have to, man, because you could almost set a watch to some of this stuff. And people are so confused about, when should I sell or when should I blah, blah, blah. It's like, when should I buy? It's like, it's always a good time to buy because in 4 years, you will be in profit. Because of the 4-year cycle. So,
the cycle makes it more.
Yeah. Let's say this fall it goes to $700,000 for Bitcoin, which is not a stretch. $700,000
this fall.
By this fall. $700,000. Let's say let's be a little more. Let's calm down. Let's say it goes to $350,000 by this fall, and that's the all-time high of this market, and it crashes all the way down to $110,000. It'd be a pretty big crash, almost over 66%. We're close to it. But if you held it for 4 years, it's going to absolutely crush that 350K mark. The next all-time high is probably going to be well over $1 million. So even if you bought it at 300-something thousand, all you got to do is, if you miss selling at that blow-off top, and a blow-off top is the 15, 20, 30% moves that happen the last week or two of
The halving?
The end of that bull run, which is about 18 months after the halving. So halving, a little bit of lull there. About 6 to 9 months after that, supply shock starts to kick in and it starts going up a little bit. And then there's a little bit of a lull until right now would be April to May. We'll probably really start seeing some big numbers. And then once you get closer to fall, September is sometimes a bad month, but October, November, you're looking at maybe 30-something% gains in a month, maybe 50, maybe 100.
Golly.
Because when it starts going, because it's all about supply shock.
Can you explain that?
Yeah. So supply shock is when there is so much of something released into the network, the value is going up and up and up. There's less and less being mined per day. And then the price starts going up. These miners don't want to sell it on the over-the-counter market or on an exchange. And so you've got a whole bunch of people with Bitcoin. Nobody wants to sell it. So there's not any really on the exchange to buy. So there starts out being a lot to buy, and that pie starts cutting down. And so it's going to make the price, it's supply and demand. It makes the price go ballistic because now there's one guy wanting to sell 10 of them for 100K, and then there may not be another 20 for sale until 120, and then may not be another 50 for sale till 350. And so the price that supply shock, once it starts kicking in, that's when these huge gains start coming. And there's a lot of huge gains to be made in meme coins. I would not suggest getting into any of that stuff. Trump coin, Melania token, like whatever the hell. I'm sure, I know people made millions. And man, my buddy called me. He was like, hey, dude, get some Trump coin. It's going to be blah, blah, blah by the next morning. I was like, I'm sure it is. But as soon as I buy it, it's going to dump. And I think he put 1,500 in. It went up to like 18,000 from his investment. Dropped back down to 9 before he cashed out.
Oh, so he lost?
There was he made nine. He made $7,500 in 24 hours.
But he didn't make the 18, huh?
No.
Yeah. Okay.
Could have made a little bit more, but you can always make a little bit more. You're never going to time it perfect.
Yeah.
Man.
That's the thing with stocks too, huh? You're just sitting around wondering if you're about to do the right thing or not.
Yeah.
Was it a gut thing?
Well, the thing about stocks is it's still based in dollars, so you're still losing value no matter if the stock stays at
because the dollar's losing value, the stock's losing value constantly.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah. And so that's what Bitcoin prevents.
Yeah. And pardon my French, the dollar is absolutely fucked. Like,
no, that's fine.
It's been that way for a long time. It's going to just get more and more fucked every day.
Yeah, that's so scary.
Yeah.
That we live in a time where it's like...
And people talking about intrinsic value like gold or something, be like, what do you think dollars are based on?
Yeah.
Thin air. They're based on our government is going to send
like a dollar bill is just an agreement that we're all just going to say this dollar is worth what
it's not much of an agreement. It's like you're going to use this dollar or we're going to freaking put our military on your neck.
Yeah.
And then you're going to use it anyway, so why not use it? You know? All these BRICS nations and all that stuff. You know about BRICS, right? A little bit.
Yeah, BRICS is the other countries coming together trying to make a different dollar.
No, they're not.
They're not. Oh, they're not. Right.
Well, that's what they're trying to do.
I have a real basic understanding.
So
I
ain't going to do it.
You don't think they will?
Not with Trump and not in Trump in office. I mean, they'll just tear the hell out of them, or they'll freaking carpet bomb their entire country. Be like, have fun rebuilding your entire infrastructure with your BRICS stuff, whatever.
Yeah, but that is their intent, though, right?
That is their intent, and it's also based off gold, which that's a good idea. But Bitcoin is going to consume the entire gold network. It's going to consume all of real estate. It's currently the 7th most valuable asset in the world by market cap. It just passed some major Middle Eastern company that does like oil stuff. It's going to pass Google by the end of the year.
Google this year, possibly?
Oh, yes.
Damn, that's crazy.
I think it's only going to be behind NVIDIA, maybe.
Yeah.
And
Did they
then
recover from that shit the other
only
day?
thing, yeah, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
The only thing that is in
Should
front of
people have bought in
NVIDIA,
low? My fault. I keep asking you.
NVIDIA?
Yeah, when it crashed, like not when it crashed, but like when DeepSeek came out and it dropped, that should have been the time to buy it, huh?
Yeah.
Not financial advice.
I would have still just put it in Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Because it dropped that market too. So NASDAQ, which is tech stocks, NVIDIA,
right.
stuff like that, when it drops, so does crypto.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's good to check a couple things to check would be the NASDAQ futures to see if it's going to be a good or a bad day possibly for tech stocks. But one of the best things to look at when you're thinking about buying or selling is the crypto greed and fear index. It's market sentiment on how scared people are that it's going to drop or how greedy they are that it's going to keep rising. If you sell in extreme greed, you'll do very well. And if you buy in fear, extreme fear, you'll do very well. It's off every once in a while, but it's like anything else. It's a very good metric to use.
So your personal opinion is that you put in putting into it is a good thing.
Absolutely.
In your mind. Yep.
There's never a bad time to buy it.
Okay.
As long as you don't need that money to cover your mortgage next week.
Yeah.
It could cover your mortgage twice.
Yeah.
Or it could cover half of it.
What is Bitcoin at right now? I have no idea.
Probably $97,000 to $99,000 per Bitcoin.
Per one Bitcoin, 97-ish thousand.
Yep.
Sheesh.
There's 1 million Satoshis in a
What is
Bitcoin.
that? What is a Satoshi?
Since Bitcoin is 1.0000, it is one Bitcoin is one Bitcoin, which is 1 million Satoshis. So that 0.0870 zeros and a one is one Satoshi. When Bitcoin hits $10 billion, Satoshi will be equal to $1. So whenever we go to the store and, we're old and decrepit, we're like, I remember when you could get a Coke for $2 and now it's 2 Satoshis.
Yeah.
So it actually makes it a lot easier to do the math. So much so that there's so little Bitcoin that'll be around. Every millionaire in the world won't even be able to own 0.4 or 0.3.
Because you can own a part of a Bitcoin, right? Because it's so extremely hard to get into it if it's one of them is 97,000, right?
So every millionaire, so if it was evenly dispersed across the entire globe, I think everybody would have 0.03 Bitcoin.
What stops all the millionaires from just putting into this to where there's none for the regular guy?
I don't know why they don't. I mean,
really?
It's not mathematically possible for every millionaire to own a 0.4 Bitcoin, 0.3 Bitcoin.
At this point.
If every millionaire went out and tried to buy one, they wouldn't be able to.
Damn.
There's not enough.
Yeah.
Scarcity makes things valuable.
Yeah.
And that's why gold has some value, because it's hard to mine. So is Bitcoin. It is fungible. I mean, you can divide it up. You can make little coins out of it and blah, blah, blah. It's not very transportable.
Yeah. Too heavy.
Definitely not very transportable in long distances. I could send you $1 trillion if I had it. I wish I did.
Hey, go ahead, send that
I could
over.
send you $1 trillion worth of Bitcoin in about 40 minutes for about $6. And it would be in your wallet. And there is nobody that could stop us. No bank being like, oh, you sure you want to send that? The blah, blah, blah. It could be a scam. And it could be. There is no double spend. The network, 51% of the network has to agree to that transaction before it's valid. So you can't just be like, hey, I've got my miner here and it says I own this. I'm going to transfer it to you, blah, blah, blah. There are thousands, millions of mining machines across the planet. The only way to take Bitcoin out is by changing who owns what Bitcoins and what wallets on 51% of them once you have 51% majority, that would be the new blockchain. And the other 49 would have to fall in lockstep.
Right.
So, for example, back when there was a whole lot of mining in China, if they would have taken all of those mining operations over with their military and then and changed the blockchain, who owned what, and had 51% of the mining power, it would change who owns everything.
Wow.
But good luck. And you know how much money it would take to build the infrastructure to be able to pull that off? You wouldn't. There's not enough miners. They don't come out fast enough.
Yeah.
But one cool thing about Bitcoin is that it's only on planet Earth. You go find an asteroid full of gold, made of gold, one day, maybe, Elon Musk company, hauls that son
I just need one to fall right in the yard.
Let's say one falls in your yard worth, I don't know, let's say $500 billion worth of gold.
Come on.
You know what happened? Gold would become worthless overnight.
Yeah, it would destroy the market. Yeah.
Supply and demand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bitcoin, there will only be 21 million of them. You can't go mine it on another planet, on an asteroid, no matter what. An alien shows up here and we're only freaking dealing in Bitcoin, they're broke. They ain't bringing that to the table.
Yeah.
Except maybe some cool-ass laser guns and some shit like that.
Yeah, you can't just go rob Fort Knox or something.
Exactly.
And be up in gold.
Exactly.
Yeah. What's stopping hackers from just going nuts on Bitcoin?
I mean, they do all the time, but they got to swindle people out of it. You know, just like, you know, getting grandmas to go buy Apple cards because they think the IRS wants Apple for some reason. Or
the poor grandmas and grandpas out there that have to deal with today's society as well, especially with AI.
I'm telling you.
They're probably getting fooled.
I went with my buddy the other day because he does a lot of cash in his business. Anyway, we went to Best Buy to get some $2,000 Best Buy gift cards each because that's the max. He's like, hey, man, I need you to get me a gift card for Best Buy. And then his girlfriend and I was there, and so was he and another one of our friends. And like they drilled us. So like, you sure you're not getting scammed? You sure you're not getting scammed? We're like, man, I just want to buy a $2,000 gift card. But anyway, it happens all the time.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Some lady. I'll be at I don't know, this is off topic. I'll be at my grandma's. My grandma's 85.
Yeah.
I'll take my kids down to grandma's house and they're running around and she's trying to deal with it. And she'll get a phone. She has a landline still. I know her number before it was 903 in front of it, but she'll get a phone call and she'll get over to the phone. She'll answer it. Hello. And like, it'll clearly be some BS.
Yeah.
And like, I just have to, like, sometimes, like, because my brother lives with her and thankfully he takes care of her and he like keeps her off the phone and shit. Because like it'll clearly be some BS and you have to go take the phone from grandma. She's just being nice. She's talking to whoever called her.
Dude, who is the guy that freaking just hacks their shit on YouTube? It's something Moto. They know he's famous in India and Bangladesh where they
for just hacking.
No, for running like
scams.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
The guy dresses up like an old lady. He's got a podcast and everything. He's like, now where do I go to send you all my money and blah, blah, blah. And he creates these websites that are fake bank accounts. And she's like, okay, I'm sending you the 20,000 right now. And it'll show it leaving her account, going to the wrong account. And they're like, oh my God. Lady, no, you sent it to the wrong effing account, blah, blah, blah. It's something Moto. It's so funny.
I have to go look it up. Yeah.
You need to check it out.
Is it legal for him to have a YouTube channel like that?
Yeah, because he's scamming scammers.
Oh, it's
all fake money.
Oh, so he's scamming the scammers. Yeah. Oh, okay, okay.
But it's so funny. Like he'll dress up like an old lady and do it in front of his computer. He's like, now where do I go, son? I need to go to Best Buy.
Okay, I'm with you now.
And he'll get him on the phone and he'll be like, oh, I missed the turn. And they're losing their minds because it's taking forever.
Yeah, they're losing money.
And yeah, right. And then at the end of the day, some of them are like, man, what is his name? It's something Moto. You'll have to look it up.
I'll look it up.
Anyway.
I'll put it in the description.
It's worth a good hour of your life. Like, I swear to God.
I give them away all the time to YouTube.
It's worth its weight in gold. He's so good. And sometimes he takes control of their computers.
Oh, he's hacking into
He's a fucking hacker, man.
Yeah, that's just crazy.
He'll take control of their computer and it'll show their bank account going to zero. It'll lock their screen up and start doing all kinds of stuff. And so Bitmodo, I think is it. I think it's Bitmodo. Don't hold me to it.
We'll figure it out.
But yeah. But anyway, sometimes they get so far down in these schemes and he's talking like an old lady or an old man or something. They're like, is this Bitmodo?
Oh, they get mad. They know. Yeah.
He's famous over there because he freaking wreaks havoc on these call centers. But anyway, this is off topic.
No, that's fine.
So anyway.
While we're here though, do you okay, so they're I'm tapped into like AI. Maybe not as much as you're tapped into Bitcoin, but like I study AI very hard and I'm always listening to new stuff about it. Is there a risk of AI disturbing the flow of you've studied it and you think you know what's going to happen here? Is there a possibility that AI can affect that flow with just progressing?
So quantum computing could recover a lot of these lost wallets. Because the lost wallets were formed with weaker. So Bitcoin's encryption has gotten stronger and stronger, but these lost wallets, there's like potentially 3 to 6 million Bitcoin lost forever, plus the million that Satoshi has never moved. So we're really talking about 13 million Bitcoin in circulation?
13 billion. And then you're saying, so how many were lost? 3 to 6 million?
Somewhere between 3 to 6 million Bitcoin are
and then
lost.
You thinking they could potentially be 45 billion? That's so crazy.
Quantum computing could recover some of those that were 12 passwords, 12 individual words with a space between as a seed phrase. So people that keep their Bitcoin on cold storage, meaning it's a little device, it doesn't hold any. Nobody holds any Bitcoin. You really hold the cryptographic keys to unlock those portions of the blockchain, which totals your amount of the Bitcoin that you have the password to crack. That is yours. So it's sparsed all over the place. Like I own 4 Bitcoin and it's all over the ledger, but it totals up this amount. And so it's crazy. You think you own 4 Bitcoin, you're like, oh, here's the ledger. It's all right here. No, it's just bits and pieces.
All over the place.
All over the place, but it's in your wallet. It's real estate. You owned those deeds to those portions of property. It's the closest thing to digital land as you can get.
So Bitcoin is like digital land.
They're not creating any more of it.
Right.
That's why.
That's the old saying. You can't buy it. You better keep your land. You can't buy it.
And it's all
make no more of it. Yeah.
You ain't buying none of it on Mars or asteroids or anywhere else.
Yet.
This not yet. But if you did colonize or something happened nuclear wise or whatever, if people had a few miners and they had a few iPhones with wallets and stuff like that, they could completely run their own Bitcoin financial system without the rest of the world even knowing about it. And as long as nothing conflicted, like they weren't trying to send Bitcoin to people out here, you could just get right back onto the blockchain and you would still own that crypto. Because it was yours to begin with. You just transferred it to Joe Blow over here.
Yeah.
Joe Blow transferred some to
That's
you.
my cousin.
Joe Blow?
Yeah, that's my cousin.
Anyway, you all get back on the old information superhighway one day, then it syncs up and it still belongs to you.
So you said there was a date. You said it was like 2040 or something, right?
2140.
2140. Let's hypothetically fast forward to that date. What happens? That's when the mining is done, right?
Yeah.
Potentially.
But there's still transaction fees. There's still miners required to secure the network.
What happens after that? Is everything locked in? Like if you're at 240, is that, or 2040? Yeah, 2140.
Yeah.
See, I'm so slow. I've been thinking you said 2040.
No, it's
2140.
2145. They'll be about $45 million per Bitcoin.
Well, okay. Well, I'm dead, so I don't care no more.
No, 2045.
2045 or 2145?
2045, we're looking at about $45 million Bitcoin. 2145,
the end of mining.
We're probably looking at $1 trillion plus Bitcoin.
For one Bitcoin. Okay.
Yeah.
But there's not that much money out there, right?
Oh, they make money every day. Every day.
Oh, well, they're printing. They're still printing money. Right?
Oh, yeah, all day. And every time somebody opens a credit card and spends $1, it generates 7 to 10 more dollars that bank can now loan out.
The interest?
Not the interest. So you go so you put $100 in the bank.
Okay, yeah.
They can loan $7 to $100 of that $100 out.
7 to 100. Okay, yeah.
So every $100
because they don't have all your money, right?
No, if everybody went to the bank right now,
they'd be screwed.
Yeah.
So every time I put money in, they're like, "Oh, let's go play with his money, give it something, loan it to somebody else."
Your $1 out 7 to 10 times.
Wow.
It's called something reserve banking, fractional reserve banking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. So let's say we get to 2140. Obviously, the world would be completely different or whatever.
Of course we wouldn't be here. Right?
Yeah. Who would want to be here without me?
Right.
But no, I can think of a lot of people. But anyways, what would happen at that moment? Like that is the end. There's no more transactions no more, or people can still start shifting what they have around.
There's just no more to be created. So it could become even more valuable because it's done. There is no more. That's like they're mined all the gold. They're an asteroid in sight with anything. There's not a planet we could get to get more gold.
Yeah, we have it all.
It's all out of the ground. There's not a morsel or an ounce anywhere. And that's one thing that makes gold even less valuable than Bitcoin is because we don't know how much there is. The higher gold gets, the more the more you're allowed to spend to get it out of the ground because it costs more. You can sell it for more.
Yeah.
But gold is going to consume Bitcoin is going to consume all of real estate, all of gold, absolutely every major asset on the planet. And what I mean by consume is it's going to be worth more or it's going to be tokenized and on the blockchain, whether it be Bitcoin. Ethereum has some use cases for tokenizing assets where you and I could buy fractions of the Mona Lisa. NFTs and stuff.
That's some shit that makes
tokens.
No sense to me. But before we get lost on that, don't let me lose my train of thought here. All right, there's only, damn, I really did lose my train of thought.
It's all good.
What were we talking about? What was the last thing you said?
Samuel L. Jackson.
No.
Talking about tokenizing.
Okay.
Or was it before that?
Before that, just right before that.
That you could own portions of assets. So Bitcoin assuming the role.
Okay.
Consuming gold and real estate and everything.
So I'm back. My bad. Phew, here we are. Here we go. Was it ever the original? Was the original design of Bitcoin to replace regular currency? Was that ever a plan? Is that kind of what started, or I don't know?
It wasn't really a plan. It was an alternative to people so you can bank yourself.
Like decentralized. Explain that.
Yeah. So decentralized means I can send Bitcoin to you. There's thousands of miners out there that will agree that I own that coin and I can send it to you. And as long as you and I, it's trustless. You and I need to have some trust that I'm going to get product A and you're going to get my Bitcoin.
The bank is out of the picture.
The bank is out of the picture.
Nice.
Yeah. Once it's done, it's done.
Definitely.
So it is trustless. Anybody can use it to help all these freaking, what do they call it? All these tariffs and all this shit they're trying to do to Putin. He's just settling everything in Bitcoin.
Really?
And nobody can stop it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never thought about that.
Yeah, you cannot stop a Bitcoin transaction.
Yeah. Let's see. Before I lose this thought, also, what are the biggest dangers to Bitcoin? Like, what are the potentials of it? Like, not getting to the point that you're thinking it's going to get to.
I think those days are behind us. I think there was a time where it could be outlawed. Specifically under the Biden administration. They were the most anti-crypto
they wasn't messing with it,
administration that we've ever had. Gary Gensler, the head of the SEC, sued the pants off of XRP for years, suppressing the price, which is why that's one coin that I would, not financial advice, keep an eye on.
Not financial advice. What coin is it you said?
XRP.
XRP, okay.
Yeah, it's replacing the SWIFT payment it has in Japan. SWIFT is where they make huge country settlements overnight with the SWIFT payment system. Has a lot to do with credit card transactions, but it's mainly bank-to-bank kind of stuff. Like, this bank bought a whole bunch of assets from this one, or car loans, or countries, or whatever. SWIFT charges a shit ton of money and makes it take 2 or 3 days to happen, where XRP could do it within seconds. And it's on the blockchain where anybody could see it. So a blockchain is out in the open.
It
can be, yes.
Yeah.
And I think that's where eventually we're being headed with our voting systems. Why not have the most transparent voting system on the planet?
Well, where everybody knows who you voted for?
Yeah. You get a vote, and it's
just you're thinking to stop from the BS?
Stop from people being able to vote twice,
or people that aren't supposed to be.
People voting, and shit like that, to where it's completely out in the open. We all know who everybody voted for. Who cares which way you voted? I just want to know that they're legit. I think a lot of people would like that.
Yeah, I can see that.
There's a lot of examples. Coin called Cardano.
That's a coin?
Yeah.
It's
probably like the 5th or 6th highest market cap. You should look into some of their experiments they've done over in Africa, voting with Cardano on the blockchain, and super success rates. Like, everybody's like, yep, that person won. Because they've had some fucked off elections in Africa, in certain parts.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like, even America, it's 2024, and we're sending our votes in the mail. That just doesn't seem like that's just like the top way to do shit nowadays.
And they could count them all in one day unless you're a democratic state. But we won't get too far into politics.
Yeah, I don't want to get into politics, but
sorry,
but
they just count slower.
The system,
when they're Democrat-led. We used to be able to do all this shit in one night.
Yeah, they would. You would know who was president.
Weeks.
Yeah. And the last one was like a landslide, so we knew, like, okay, by the next morning, I'm like, damn, he won.
But still didn't.
But those other ones were like.
Enough. But anyway, we better. Yeah, I don't want to get. We better get off of this.
Yeah, I don't. But you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, if it was tokenized, it would be instantaneous. You go. You vote. Yeah, you could do it online at that point, and it would be legit.
And they would. How
you get one vote?
Yeah, and so how would they verify it was you?
Because it's tied to your security identifier. Like, if someone happens to get that from you and votes in your place, you have a rebuttal there.
Yeah,
you got to prove it.
Yeah, but so somebody could hack into your deal and vote for you. That's what I'd be worried about.
I don't really think so. I think that you tie it to enough personal identification, fingerprints, biometrics, stuff like that.
Yeah.
If you want to go to a poll and do it, great. If you want to verify this information to know it's your vote, do it that way. There's a lot of identity theft. There'll always be a lot of identity theft.
Oh yeah, the more we move to the computer, more and more the internet, like the more people's gonna get their shit stolen.
I think the blockchain can solve a lot of that.
So another thought I had, I listened to, it was one of these podcasts or whatever, talking about Sam Altman, right?
Sam Bankman-Fried.
Yeah. Sam Altman's the AI guy. My bad. Sam Bankman-Fried, right? Mm-hmm. So basically his deal, right? I think he was a criminal, basically.
He is now.
Yeah, he is now. And so he took all the investments and then got in a bond and couldn't pay him back, right?
Right.
But he was heavily tied to the beginnings of Bitcoin, right? What do you know about him?
Well, he wasn't heavily tied to the beginnings of Bitcoin.
Or just wanted to first profit off of it.
Yeah. So he started FTX, which...
Right. Okay. So that was a trading deal.
Was an exchange.
Yeah.
And they had their own token. And their token's based by absolutely nothing. And then one of his ex-girlfriends worked for the place that would underwrite these loans that they could take out on this token that they, for lack of a better term, pulled out of their asses. So they just kept doing that over and over. And then they got people like Tom Brady talking about FTX and all these people losing their, once it went belly up. And a lot of the money he used for backing candidates of a certain party by the tunes of billions of dollars of money that belonged to nobody. They just created out of thin air.
Right. And he basically got in a point where his back was up against the wall and he just couldn't. Like, because people, so from my understanding, I believe people, because it's been a couple of months since I even listened to I listened to a certain podcast, American Criminal. Mm-hmm. And so they did a 3 episode on him specifically. Yeah. Basically, he got in a bond, right? And people started wanting to pull out, but once they started pulling out, there was no money for.
There's no liquidity.
He couldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, he couldn't get it back to him.
Right.
When he went down, did that affect Bitcoin?
It was pretty much after the bull run, so nobody really cared. I didn't know any FTX. Yeah. I kind of knew better than.
Is there any more infamous guys like him in like the crypto era?
Oh, there'll be one every day.
Like at his scale?
No.
Because it was millions and millions. Well, it was like big millions.
Way out of hand.
Yeah, it was something that...
Dude, it got out of hand because some of the players involved. And some of the players involved...
possibly at fault as much him, maybe?
Absolutely. Yeah. And those people are still under investigations now. And we commonly hear their names.
Yeah.
And
when like the episode series was cool, like on the deal, like they started with the deal. He's in the bathroom on the laptop as like they're raiding his house and shit like that. So that was kind of good. He was like trying to do all the shit last second. Yeah. They finally kicked down the door and took him in.
Just put it in the microwave. Been better off. He's probably trying to transfer the last bit of crypto he had to his parents or something. It's like try to get a lawyer or something. But
so what about criminals using? What about them using stuff like Bitcoin? Was that more prominent in the beginning and now they got a better hold on it? Or what do you think about that?
Man, I think that nobody is going to lay a candle next to how much criminals have used US dollars to do everything from money laundering to murder to drug sales. It would take the rest of our lives for Bitcoin to catch up with that.
So you think the dollar is,
The dollar is the end all be all.
Yeah.
Most laundered drug use, murder, motherfuckers, fucking asset on the planet. You can't get anywhere close to the dollar.
Wow.
They're like, Bitcoin networks for criminals.
Yeah, like black market
really?
stuff. Yeah.
How did you get all your millions, so-and-so?
Yeah.
Yeah. They got airdropped from an Apache helicopter. Yeah, just like Osama bin Laden right into the ocean. Yeah, but anyways. No need for an autopsy. It was him, we promise.
Yeah.
But anyways, you'll never be able to commit more crime
with the actual dollars. So you're saying that anything dollar related, Bitcoin related, crypto related, anything of that nature, anything monetary currency type related, people are going to do bad shit with it regardless.
Yep. And Bitcoin's way more traceable once it hits an exchange.
Because it's untraceable to an extent, right? But like if you ever take the money out.
Not really, because if you send money out of out of a wallet that has ever interacted with an exchange. They already know who that belongs to. So the only way, man.
So there is,
you have to KYC, know your customer. You got to fill out all these documents. You got to take pictures of your ID. Sometimes you got to take a little video and be like, my name is Drew Holder, and here's my social security number and my driver's license number.
I'm not a scammer. I'm not a robot.
On these platforms to be able to link your bank to it. Like, it's so secure, and I don't know, dollars are the creme de la creme. It's the best asset if you're trying to hide what you're doing, is to use US dollars. Anybody that says otherwise is a liar.
Yeah, because I mean, you can offshore account and shit. You can wash your money. You can do all type of shit. And they've been doing it forever.
Yeah.
From mafias to politicians to, everybody throughout time that's got a lot of money. It's like, well, we could avoid taxes by moving the money over here or starting a nonprofit that hemorrhages money, or, there's just, it's just the seed for corruption, it seems like.
Yeah. And it was just something to try to, it was mainly Senator Warren trying to be like, they use this stuff for buying drugs on the internet. Like, that was Silk Road. The guy finally got pardoned. He should have never gone to jail. He created a website.
In the beginning of Bitcoin, was there a spike though?
A spike?
Of like people, like in the early stages taking advantage of Bitcoin to do illegal shit?
I mean, there still is. So there was Silk Road. I forget the guy's name, Ross Albright or something like that.
Look it up, Silk Road.
Yeah. So Silk Road was a Craigslist of, you can buy anything you want from, mops, mop buckets, hitmen, heroin.
Black market, basically.
Whatever.
Yeah.
You could buy anything. And he created a website. He didn't facilitate or agree with any of this stuff. He just made a site. People used it for nefarious things. People used it for legit things. The guy got 2 life sentences for this shit.
Damn.
He just got pardoned by Donald Trump. And not a day too early. He's in his 40s now. He spent over 20 years in prison.
Damn.
Like, it's like creating Marketplace and then somebody sells some meth on there. Oh, yeah? You created a website
where
so people could buy and sell illegal drugs that could kill you? Be like, come on, guys.
Yeah, it was his intention wasn't that. Yeah.
Even if it was, you could still buy mop buckets and stuff. Like, people are going to use shit for what they're
Why did you choose meth?
Yeah, exactly.
Why did you not buy a mop bucket?
You should have got the mop buckets, man. They had meth in the mop bucket.
Bucket. You got to make the right decision.
Exactly. So
that's crazy. So you're obviously like pro Bitcoin, right? There has to be people out there that are not pro Bitcoin.
Yeah, Gary Gensler from the SEC was definitely, he's on his way out. He started a major lawsuit against XRP that had them delisted from every major exchange in the world, or at least US exchange, which really kept XRP from skyrocketing. Because back in 2017 run, it got up to like $3.40 something cents, maybe even $3.90. And then it was at 50 cents to 90 cents all the way through the 2020 market because it was delisted everywhere. And so it's still lower than it was in 2017. And it's the only coin lower than it was in 2017. Not financial advice.
No, this is not financial advice. Leave my camera. This is not financial advice.
One of the top executives of XRP just got announced as being on the board or a high-end position with the U.S. government crypto whatever agency under Donald Trump's administration. So it might not be a bad idea to look into it.
Not financial advice.
Yep. Look into it. I didn't say look into it with your wallet, but not financial advice. XRP could go a long ways. Bitcoin is the surest horse in the race. I know it's discouraging. It's expensive. You're never going to buy a whole one, but what you can buy is an assload of Satoshis. Because there's 1 million Satoshis in one Bitcoin. Not everybody is ever going to own an entire Bitcoin, especially with MicroStrategy coming up on 500,000 Bitcoin. BlackRock just bought $500 million.
I'm about to say, it's got to be them. You know, BlackRock got to be involved there somewhere.
With all of these big companies buying daily, I mean, Texas is the 10th largest economy in the world. If it was a country, it would be the number 10 country.
Wow.
As economy. They're going to have a Bitcoin strategic reserve. The United States will, followed by every state, county, city, insurance company, major companies in and out of the United States, and every country around the world is going to have to own some of this. Can you imagine what the price is going to be? It's going to be insane. Absolutely insane. And without any of that happening, it would still go up to $300,000-$400,000 a cycle. It wouldn't surprise me if we hit $1 million Bitcoin by October.
This year.
Yep.
Not financial advice.
Not financial advice. So,
when you make posts about this stuff, do you have to say that every time?
No. I should. Yeah. Sometimes I do.
Yeah.
But since the Bitcoin halving schedule is just under 48 months, I'll tell you my prediction. And so there's a halving. 18 months after that halving is the blow off top. 12 months after that blow off top is the start and the bottom of the bear market. Then you accumulate through. If you're accumulate through a few months after the halving, maybe 6 months after the halving at the most, which is quite some time to accumulate. So you buy a year before the halving, and then a little bit after the halving, stop about 6 months after the halving, and then just ride the wave for about 1 year, blow off top, sell, never sell all because you don't know if you're at the top. They could keep going. You can set what's called stop losses. So, the price goes to 100, be like, okay, cool. If it drops to 90, go ahead and sell. But then let's say it goes to 110, then you just move it up. If it drops to 100, then sell. If it goes to 120, drops to 120, drops to 110, sell. Yeah. Stuff like that. Even it comes down and hits it, and you see it going up, hell, buy it back.
And then, expect it to come back.
Up.
Yeah, follow it back up. That makes sense.
Up. So that you don't sell all of it at let's just say it's going to go to 400,000, for example. Let's say you don't want to sell all of it at 3 if you could have got it at 350 or 375 or 385. But no one's going to time it perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some
and if you hold on to that capital for 1 year,
it's going to profit more than likely.
You hold on to that cash for a year.
Yeah.
And then buy at the bottom of the next cycle, which will be almost exactly 1 year, and it rinse and repeat and it never stops. And the reason I'm on October 17th, not financial advice, October 17th of this year, I predict to be the all-time high of this bull run. Yeah. And I posted that date on Facebook over 9 months ago. And I ain't moving off of it.
Yeah. You think you got it dialed in, yeah?
I think I do. I'll send you a chart to show it to you.
It's so crazy. What is one thing... Is there one thing you really want to get across? Like maybe I haven't asked the right questions or we haven't got there. Is there one point you really want to hit about Bitcoin that'll help me understand?
There is. People are scared to buy Bitcoin because they don't understand it.
Right.
The best way to understand it is just buy a little. The second best way to understand it, or maybe the first, is to get the audiobook or read the Bitcoin Standard. It goes through everything from seashells to glass beads to people having open ledgers on limestones in their communities. every form of money that ever exists, and it explains how Bitcoin is the hardest form of money that has ever existed and probably will ever exist. And one of the biggest points of Bitcoin and its stability is nobody knows who did this shit. Somebody does. But there ain't a group of men wearing black suits that can pull them into a room and make them pull the plug, because these people weren't only smart enough to create this mathematical genius of a currency and a release schedule and do something for the people to dig them out of the ditches, because you're holding dollars, man.
It's not helping.
You're screwed.
It goes away, yeah.
You're losing percentages, major percentages, 9 to 10% a year. Even though they say the inflation's like 3, 4, 5%,
it's more.
It's fucking 25, 50, sometimes 100, depending on the asset. I mean, eggs, eggs are up 300%, something like that.
Yeah. Well, that always confuses me when they say the percentage of inflation is up this much. But it's like some of the shit that I buy all the time is way higher than the percentage. So then I'm like, okay, well, that you have a number here, but like
they have this basket and they pick the shit that's gone up the least, and that is the inflation.
That's the inflation number. That makes sense.
That's the number.
That makes sense, because you can tell me it's up 3%, but like if I go to the grocery store, it's not. It doesn't feel like 3%.
Yeah, if you buy eggs, deodorant, and some other bullshit, it's up 400%.
Yeah,
no doubt.
I got a 12 pack of eggs for $7 at the dollar store.
That's crazy.
That's absolutely insane.
Yeah.
I used to get 5 dozen for $5 from Walmart.
Yeah.
In the big box with the tape on it.
Yeah.
I eat a lot of eggs. I love eggs, but right now I'm like,
we buy the 60 packs too.
Yeah, that's what I'm. You go get the 12 dozen. It's like, or the 5 dozen. My bad.
5 dozen.
Math is tough, and that's why I'm scared of some of this shit. But
okay. Let me go over one more thing.
Yeah, definitely.
The easiest on-ramps and off-ramps would be Cash App. It's probably the easiest. Everybody uses Cash App. You can just buy some Bitcoin. The fees are not cheap. Coinbase, it's the biggest exchange in America. The accounts are insured up to $250,000 per account, so you can feel safe keeping your money there. Once you get over that, which most people won't, there is offline storage, cold storage, but if you just use like Coinbase and Gemini and maybe Cash App and something else, you spread your risk out into insured exchanges. One of them gets hacked because of something on their end, not because, your ex-girlfriend still has your unlock code and your authentication and she knows your passwords to everything and transfers Bitcoin to herself.
That's beyond their control. Yeah,
that's your fault. So it's good to keep them on these exchanges. You can set them up so where there's approved whitelist that you can transfer out to. So even if somebody kidnapped my ass or whatever, it's like, man, most of my Bitcoins are on loans. Like, I'll explain that to you real quick too. I know we're running short on time.
Yeah, we're right at the end.
But so you can set up a Bitcoin whitelist to transfer only to certain accounts. And so if somebody were to hack my account, they add their address to my whitelist, I get an email and it takes 7 days to approve it. So I have 7 days to go to Coinbase and be like, my account got hacked. I'm changing my passwords. I'm changing my 2FA. I'm changing my cell phone number, because sometimes it's a SIM swap. These people that work for AT&T and Verizon, blah, blah, blah.
No, they're bad.
People can SIM swap your phone number. That's why it's good to use applications like Authy that do codes that expire. Shit that texts you your code to your phone is not that secure. Because somebody can SIM swap your account,
right? And
they get that text instead of.
So there's somebody right now here in America that works at AT&T that will finesse you.
They don't have to finesse you. They'll just do it.
They'll just do it, yeah.
If they know you got some crypto, like, hey, by me being on this podcast,
you're basically saying that, hey.
Like, hey, AT&T, or whoever I do business with.
Yeah.
Yeah, SIM swap me. Well, good luck. I use authentication apps for everything.
Yeah.
And I've got whitelists. They're backed up. They'd have to get my account for 7 days. And nobody's keeping me off cell phones for 7 days. Yeah. Especially my wife. So you ain't got to worry about that.
Yeah.
And then if it came down to, I don't know, kidnappings or something like that, I would be the worst person to kidnap for 7 days, man. Ask my wife, well, you wouldn't be able to deal with me for 5 minutes. She'd be like, get this guy out of the
take it back.
Get him out of the rape van now. He is causing too much of a ruckus.
That's what I always say about my kids. They'd bring them back.
Yeah.
If they took my kids, they would just take them back to the house.
Yeah. But like I was saying about loans, I keep...
explain that and then we'll be... And then
I think that'll wrap it up. So there's a couple different platforms. You can get an 89%, 90% loan to value loan on your Bitcoin. If you get a 90% loan in your Bitcoin and it goes from 100 to 90, you can get liquidated. You'll get some of that back, but you're going to lose a shitload. But man, people call me crazy and I take a lot of risk, but I took a considerable amount of Bitcoin and I got a loan against it. And then I took that loan and I bought some Bitcoin. And then I got a loan against that, and I took some of that money in Bitcoin, and I got a loan against that. So I ended up loaning myself with that first investment in Bitcoin, several $100,000 worth of Bitcoin. It's all based off of a loan of a little bit of Bitcoin.
So when it hits, you have to pay that back first before you get profits. Is that what?
So at the end of the day, if Bitcoin goes up about 50%, I can pay that loan off and I will get a few Bitcoin in return.
And then if Bitcoin crashes, you have to figure out how you can lose it all. Woo!
But I keep some on the sideline, so if it started getting close to my liquidation, I just add some to that loan and it lowers it from 69K liquidation, which we're not going to 69K anytime soon.
Yeah.
That'd be crazy. But I got enough on the sidelines. I could get it down to 49 to where it liquidated me at 49,000.
Yeah.
We ain't dropping 50% with all these ETFs and Bitcoin strategic reserves and all that. But I'll let you take it home from here, brother.
Yeah. Well, hey, man, I appreciate you for coming on the show, man.
For sure.
I feel like I learned a lot.
I hope so.
When I go back and edit this and watch this, I'm going to really take in the information. It's, it's tough to do it at the front. I feel like I asked all the questions that I had coming into it. I think you asked
a lot.
Yeah, I had a good time.
Yeah, some good ones.
And man, I don't know. It's hard to, there's no such thing as like a sure bet, right?
No.
Yeah. And so this is all risks. And like we said, not financial advice.
Some of the surest bets you can make, but you need to put the time into it.
Yeah. And so any last thoughts?
Oh man, just let me plug myself if that's cool.
Yeah. Go. Yeah, man. Definitely.
My name is Drew Holder. I work at Roundtable Networks. We do small, medium business IT support solutions. Anything we support. We are your IT department when you're too small to have your own. Everything from my mouse doesn't work to disaster recovery planning in case your building got wiped out by a tornado or something. We have a solution for everything, and we are here to protect any small and medium business nationwide. Security cameras. I also have another company called America Tech, America-tech.com. We do solar, cameras, Starlink installs, just about anything. And I've also started a custom arcade company. We do retro arcades. We fix casino machines, slot machines, whatever, man. We can print you an arcade out of PVC. You just pick what platforms you want. 10,000, 60,000 games all on one. You can plug in your computer. We make a desktop unit, wall mount, full traditional stand up, or we even restore the retro games back to originals. Not a great way to contact me there. We just started it, so the website's not up. But drewholder@gmail.com is it easy enough to remember.
I'll put that in the description.
If you guys need anything technology related, then feel free to hit me up. I'll get back to you.
There you have it. Appreciate you coming on the show, man. It was a lot of fun.
Thanks, man.
JTP Podcast, like, share, subscribe, do all that cool shit. Leave comments. I read every single comment, reply to every single comment. And more episodes coming soon. We thank y'all. Y'all stay blessed.